In this clip, we're going to discuss how to re-import past data from your Micros POS system. Most Aspect softwares have a 30-day window in which to re-import past data from your Micros. So it is important that you check your Micros data going into Aspect on a fairly routine basis. To start with, as you're going through your daily sales, perhaps you realize that you're missing a day from a couple days ago. For example, this particular example, we're missing 2 days, the 8th and we're missing the 7th. So we need to re-import this data into Aspect. The way Aspect imports from Micros is that every day there's a script that runs that pulls the data from Micros and stores it in a folder in which Aspect then imports the data from. So to import your past data from Micros, you need to know where that directory lies. In most cases, you would click on My Computer. You could then go to this local drive C. In some cases, it could be D. And you're looking for a folder called Micros. When you double-click that folder, you're then looking for another folder called Export. In this folder, you will see a series of dated folders, 1 through 31, typically representing each day of the week. At the bottom, you see a series of DBF files. What this says here, for example, is these DBF files were created on February 11th, 2011 at 6:30 in the morning. What this tells you is these are the sales for February 10th because they were created on the 11th. Now, every time these files are copied, they are also placed in a numbered folder. For example, since these were created on the 11th, if we were to look under the 11th folder, you see the same files that were created. This is for storage. If your import fails for whatever reason, due to a duplicate employee, or your computer was rebooted, or possibly lost power, or so on. So, for example, we want to re-import February 8th into Aspect. To do that, we would look in the folder called the 9th. Once again, the timestamp shows that this was created at 6:30 in the morning on the 9th. Now, if your folder doesn't show this information, you can always go to View, and you want to list this by details. That shows you this timestamp so that you can verify the time. Once you verify that these are the right files, you can go to Edit, choose Select All, right-click, and copy. You can then choose your back button, right-click, and then paste. This example pops up that says the files already exist, but you want to say yes to all to replace them. I have now copied over the files from Micros that were created on the 9th at 6:30 in the morning. Essentially, they're the sales for the 8th. I can then open up my Aspect software and go to Action, Import POS Totals. Here you can see there was a duplicate employee, which stopped this import from happening properly. Now the files have been imported. So you can go to your Sales, Edit Daily Sales, and by scrolling back, I can now see I have my information on the 8th. So let's review. I need to still import Monday the 7th into the POS system, into Aspect. So once again, I go to my C Micros export folder. Now that I need the 7th sales, I'm going to go into the numbered folder for the 8th, remembering that these files were created on the 8th at 6:30 a.m., therefore telling me they're the 7th sales. I choose Edit, Select All, right-click and copy, and then I go back to the screen, once again right-clicking anywhere on the screen and choosing Paste, replacing the existing files, which are here. I can close this window, go to Action, and import POS totals. As again, a duplicate employee was the cause of this issue. To fix a duplicate employee, you simply need to go into your point of sale system and change one of the duplicate names, the one not being used, possibly adding the word old at the back of the first and last name, therefore changing the name. We can now go in to Aspect and see that the sales have now been re-imported successfully for the 8th, and they've been re-imported successfully for the 7th. And there you go. If there are any further questions, or if the files are not correct in the C Micros folder, simply open a